It was well written, well played, well acted, and I swear you guys need to extend it again because next Sunday is just too short. We need to keep this rolling or go to another theater.
Before you all start, I'm going to say this. This is what I said. I'm not tooting my own horn. Toot, toot. I'm not tooting my own horn. But this is what I said about Relentless. I basically said Relentless is one of those plays that should be considered a historical masterpiece. This is what we wrote on there. And then also Relentless is that once in a lifetime play that everyone should see. When we saw this at Wick Theater on when we reviewed it there, that was what I wrote down. This was before all of these great standing ovations that I'm hearing you guys are getting. I'm tooting my horn because I'm proud. I'm sticking my chest out because I walked out of there. I had to almost stop from tears. I'm like, this is just exceptional acting. Everything about that was just flawless and just wonderful. And I commend you all, because you did an excellent job. There was not a moment that we was looking at that play that we were not intensely looking to see what was coming next.
Thank you.
So kudos.
Yeah, excellent job. And we saw a girl in a lot of plays before. So
yeah,
Xavier is new to Chicago, aren't you?
Newish. I did a show here in 19 before the pandemic.
Okay.
And then, but that's it. Yeah. 2 shows.
You did Winter's Tale here, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I think I remember him with that. Now with Ayanna, oh my God, this little cutie pie. Every time I see her, I'm trying to snap a picture of her. You know how I do, right? When I see you, I got to see your little boots or whatever you got. I'm like, come on, girl.
Now, I'm wearing that day.
Right, she's just so cute to me. Her and Jay, you guys been in a couple of plays together, like Too Heavy for Your Pockets, Stick
This
Fly.
is our 3rd play together.
Right, and that's why I said
you had kind of like a sister dynamic.
And it works well, very well. I love both of you guys on there. But my first question, babe, I'm gonna kick it off with so both of you guys could answer this. Why did you want to be involved in this production?
Well, I have been involved with this production since 2018, I believe, or 2017, 2018, when it was originally a workshop for timelines, like playwriting initiative series thing that they do. And Tyler wrote this play, and she came to me after seeing Too Heavy for Your Pocket and told me that this character was me. And there are only a couple of plays where I felt like, oh, this is me. Like this is everything I have inside of me, and I can give it. And when she gave me permission to feel that way about this play, I knew that I would follow it to the ends of the earth. And I hope one day that I'll direct it, and so when I'm old enough. So I just knew, being a part of that workshop and working with the text that it was then, I was like, however this play grows or wherever it goes, I'd love to be a part of it. And I ensured that for her that I would be here to be a part of it when it was time to do it. So that's why I'm here.
And the time is right. The time is right. So how about you, Xavier?
So I auditioned for this show when I was doing The Winter's Tale here at the Goodman. And I didn't really know where I was going to go because I just left school to do the show at the Goodman in 2019. Came in, I read for it. I loved the character because I think this is the first time I've ever got to play someone who is like me, who's biracial. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. So I came in, read for it, and then got it. I left town to do a couple other shows, and then I made sure I came back in town in 2020 for when we started for the timeline run to do it. And then obviously the world happened. But I was out of town, and then I got this offer again to remount it, and I was super excited because this is a well put together gentleman who has. I don't typically play 3-dimensional characters. I typically play just, oh, you're the boy who you're the item for the lady in the show, typically Shakespeare. And this is the first time I got to play someone who has like meat on his bones in the text.
But the ladies still love him in the show, okay? Everybody we're like, oh, I'm They love him anyway. He can't
So,
help
so,
it.
so yeah, I was just super excited to play someone who was put together and had their own kind of ideas.
Yeah, it was great seeing that too, just to see affluent African Americans back in the 1919, I believe, just to see
Hmm.
us walking around like that with some knowledge, and then beautiful looking people, because everyone was so beautiful looking to me. And I
Mm.
was so impressed that your story, everyone's story in the play was just heartbreaking and heart-wrenching, but it was so, like I said, well written. And to hear your story about your father, that just went through me like, wow, your own
Mm.
father don't want you, even though we know he was white, mom's black, but his brother raised you and they was fighting for you not to get the money after he died. So I said your storyline was so, it's prevalent now with a lot of people don't think so, but it's a lot of that still going on. But going
Oh yeah.
to keep it moving, because I know you guys are pressed for time, babe, do you want to slip in a
You know,
question?
what I wanted to say is this. You have, I mean, this is a great play. How has it changed you as an actor? I mean, your play where, not a lot of plays. I mean, sometimes people superficially stand up because they have to. And one of the things I never do as a person review a play, I never clap at all. I'm just there to review. I just want to get that. I mean, this one I was like almost in tears, but I want to know, how does something like that, when you see an audience that is standing up and thoroughly appreciate it, how does that affect you as an actor? Xavier, you can go first.
Yeah. Yeah, it's left. So you're saying, how does it feel to receive all of this love and praise from the audience?
Yeah, or as you as an actor, how does it, how do you identify with that? Does it make you feel more, assured about your acting ability? How does that help you in some ways?
Well, I'm just naturally, I like to go inside and not receive praise. And what this has helped me with is to just be, because we're with the audience. It's a symbiotic relationship. So it's to allow them to be like, yeah, I worked my butt off for this, and I hope you appreciated it. And then when they do show that appreciation, yeah, you do feel validated that what you've put forth is worth whatever you went through, because we went through a lot. Like just putting our emotions on the table here. So to have that applause, it does mean a lot, and it's a deep sigh after, like, oh, we did it. Okay, cool.
Yeah, how this play, I think this cast, the the emotion we go through as a whole and the time we spent growing and moving and the experience we had doing this play together really morphed me to be able to appreciate what it's like to be in a production that's so, I don't want to say hot, but like
It's
that's
hot.
so potent and like powerful that people want to see it and want to continue to see it and want to keep seeing it on stage, because this show takes a lot of endurance emotionally. It's a 3 hour play, and we all go, every character in this play goes through an extreme emotional journey in this play at some point. And doing it at the theater wit run, we did it, we had a closing date, we thought this might happen, and it did. And then coming to the Goodman, it allowed me to build more endurance and be grateful to be able to, because it's not just for me anymore, it's for the people who are coming and who are really excited and who really need to see the play. And so it allowed me to prepare myself and to take care of myself in a way so that I can continue to do and give the show that these people bought these expensive tickets to see.
Yeah.
And I am just extremely grateful for the cast, because every day is a different day, and some days we're not all here as human beings outside of the characters we play. And I know that if I'm not having a 100% or a 90% day, and I'm only bringing 70, 68% to the theater, I know that the rest of my cast can uplift me and can hold me up so that I feel 100.
Mhm.
So I learned how to take care of myself doing this show. I am learning how to take care of myself during this show and relying on my ensemble to, fill in the gaps and fill in the holes when I can't do it myself.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of
Question for
people,
you,
I mean, just a
Ayanna.
lot of people see this and they like, okay, they seem like they're having some fun, but it's a lot of work. That's 3 hours. And today you've got to do it twice. So you have to build up that endurance to do that. And I'm glad you said that, because it's people, oh, they're just doing so great, but you don't know the work that people put in behind the scenes to get this amazing work there. So again, to you both, I
I've been doing
appreciate you.
plays professionally since 2017, and every time I'll have family come in, they're like, how do you memorize all these lines? And I'm like, y'all, it's my job. But when somebody asked me about this play, how I memorized all these lines, I'd be like, by the grace of God.
There you go.
I was for sure on book until the first preview we had. Okay, because
Yeah.
it was a lot of text, and
Yeah.
so a lot of words. So
I got a question for you, Ayanna, that we're gonna get back to Mr. Great over there, Mr. Xavier. You in heels for almost 3 hours. How are your feet doing?
oh, they're doing just fine.
They
Yeah,
doing
that's
fine.
definitely not a question for Xavier. Definitely
No,
not.
no, no. That's why I said I give him another one. But she was so
Yeah.
cute going down the stairs. I remember that scene when you purposely fell, I think, to get your sister's attention, and then came up so elegantly in her heels. I said, I don't see how she doing it. I don't see how she doing it. But do you have cushion in there or something?
No cushion. I think the shoes have just been worn in so much. This
Oh.
is the first run, so that I don't even remember I'm wearing heels.
Oh, okay, but see, that's some great acting right there.
So I mean, do a non-shoot question
okay,
for
this
Xavier.
is a non-one. I'm gonna go to Xavier without giving anything away. What's your favorite line of dialogue up in there?
Without giving anything away.
Well, if you want to,
No, I don't.
No, he don't want to. I don't want him to either. They need
Pass.
to go see.
Can I come back? Can
Yeah.
I come back and do it? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's gonna bounce to Ayanna now, so go ahead.
Well, what I will ask Xavier on that, that he's doing it, because I'm gonna say this right now. I think this needs to go to Broadway for them.
It does.
It definitely needs to go to Broadway.
With the
We've
same
been to
cast.
Broadway to go see Moulin Rouge and Michael Jackson the musical, but going back again, this needs to be going in that direction. It's that powerful that is doing that.
So we're skipping over our Broadway, going straight to New York. Right?
Well, it can go to our Broadway too. I'm not.
Well, aren't we technically on Broadway, Chicago?
You're technically on Broadway, but the Broadway of Chicago is usually at the Cadillac, Nederlander, or
Playhouse.
the CBIC Playhouse. I don't know.
Infinity.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, I'm already moving it to New York. It needs to go in that direction. With Xavier, the role that you play was extremely powerful, because you were a part of a mixed family where people look at you and think if you're already with arrogance and stuff like that. How do you channel that individual to the point? Because you and how you say her name? I'm terrible with names, huh?
Who are you talking about?
The young lady that he worked with.
Janet.
Oh,
Janet. You two together. There was a moment. It was so powerful when you were explaining, and I'm not gonna give it away. You explaining the tribulations that you went through, and so much people think that because the color of your skin is lighter, you have more advantages, and you broke that down so eloquently. Where do you derive that power to do something of that nature? And how did you all connect with the play from the substance of it being, centuries ago, to now bring it to focus so clearly that people could see?
Well, the latter part, it's still relevant today. I really don't think it's gone down at all. It's still all the same thing. It's at the tension and the surface. But connecting to this character, easy. It's a piece of cake, because that is my whole upbringing.
Oh wow.
And I was telling, I've told this story a couple of times, but I grew up in Kentucky, and where I grew up, a lot of people didn't like me because of just how I looked and my my background and not who I was as a person. So I would get treated not wonderful by by white people, and then when I would try to, and this is when I was a kid, and when I would try to seek solace with the black kids, they would be like, "You're not one of us. Like, you're a," they would call me all these different names. So I was like, wow, so I'm getting treated like you all, but you all don't accept me. Okay. And that's when I really I had to just learn to love myself for being biracial, because people weren't allowing me to love either side of me. So yeah, connecting to this guy, pretty easy. And because I haven't played a character that has that background, I never really had to face it since I've been an adult. Because since I've been an adult, I'm like, oh, that stuff's in the past. I'm moving on. I'm just an actor, yada yada yada. But now I'm like, oh yeah, that did happen to me when I was a kid, and that did form like how I became who I am. So and everything, like the no father thing, all that stuff. Yeah, that's why I thought it was written for me, but before she met me. but yeah,
Hey.
I'll end there.
No, thanks for sharing.
Oh wow, that's a deep backstory right there, still going on now. But you're not escaping my question. I'm gonna come back to you.
I was going to ask the young lady to also elaborate on that for you as the role. How do you exuberate that power and connect with this role of the person that you're playing? The person whose mother has died, and now the diaries, and you don't want that, and you're dealing with other things. There's suicide in this thing. I'm not going to give too much away. How do you connect with that individual to be able to home into that individual that you're playing?
I connect with it because I am a Black woman, I think, and I am a woman who has heard people say, be strong, don't cry, you have to, because you're a Black woman, you have to always be prepared and always be ready and give more, because people are always looking at you to give less, or looking at you to give less. And I always thought to myself, well, slavery was real. The trauma that Black people endured from slavery still exists within our bodies to this day. How is it that with all that trauma and the things that my ancestors went through, I still have to present as this powerful, impenetrable, strong creature and not express any emotion when I'm hurt or sad or fearful? And seeing this character have this openness and this vulnerability to be able to just, towards the end of the play, be able to just express that this is how she truly feels, I get that, because I am scared a lot of the time. I am scared about I don't want to say scared, because I think I am weary sometimes about my career, about interacting with white people, about being queer, about being gay. I am weary about all of those things, being a Black woman. And I think sometimes it's okay for me to just sit in that, or to need to talk to someone about it, or to need to express that I am not okay because I have a lot on me right now, and to ask for help. And I think that is what Annelle is showing people in this play, and especially Black women in this play. We do not have to be rocks. We are not rocks. We are human beings with feelings, with fears, with trauma, that if we don't allow ourselves to feel those feelings in the moment when they're happening, this is the kind of person you will wound up being. Someone with a lot of secrets, who holds on to a lot of things and just makes a decision for themselves and can't appreciate the love they're receiving on the outside, because they are not allowed to express the sadness that they feel. And then they leave us. And we have no idea why they left us, because there was nothing, there was no one checking in on us. How are you doing today, black woman? How are you doing today, beautiful? How are you feeling? Are you okay? Are you taking care of yourself? You drank some water today? Did you take your vitamins? Like, we don't, because we're always the ones like, hey, you need anything? What can I do for you? Like, let me go grab this. Oh yeah, I have the time, knowing you don't have the time at all, but you make the time.
That is so powerful.
You know what, Ayanna? I know you decades probably younger than me because I'm 56. You probably ain't even 31 yet. But I have this blog, and I have to say this because you just said something to make me want to showcase you. A blog called Club 50. And I always highlight positive men and women. And I would love to showcase you for next month after your run is over, when you get a moment to breathe. And I'm gonna ask you how you doing. And it's a written blog, okay? Yeah. So I'm gonna come after you because I'm just looking at her. You make me think of Kim Fields. You probably get that all the time. I said
her and Janet Jackson.
I was gonna say Janet Jackson. Yeah.
I said, oh my God, it's like talking to Kim Fields, and I'm feeling your emotion. I'm like, I'm not gonna cry. I'm not gonna cry on here because you're so good. You make a person just want to cry. But anyway, in a good way.
I make myself cry every
day.
Okay.
You was almost about to make me cry in a second. I'm like, man up. You know, I had to get the. I will say this. I'm so appreciative that you all shared that with us about that. One of the things that we have not done, because we got so much into this, because I'm going to share something with you all and ask a question, but tell us about Relentless. Yes. Xavier, tell us about Relentless. I might just switch this over and put that in the beginning when I edit the recording, but tell us about Relentless.
Relentless, the show, it's about these affluent and deep and emotional African Americans in 1919 Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and it just tells the story of started with these two sisters, how they discover their mother's past, and then one of them, her husband, and then a suitor for the older sister, and they come in, and everyone has a story that they need to tell, and then you see the past as well, the past before 1919 on stage as well.
Yeah, which is such a critical time in history. On our radio show, we talked about that, and when we did the review on your play, we put down all of the massacres that happened within African American history on there, so people could see a litany of things that had happened to people, and so this was very powerful. I think you got something.
Annelle line in the play, and I hope this doesn't give it away, but I don't think it will. The play, you can read about it. Anybody can read about it at this point now, but she has this line, one pebble in the water and look how great the ripple effect is. And then you hear that in that moment when she's talking to her husband about one thing, but then Franklin comes in at the end to tell us something that happened in Chicago that affects us here, that has already affected us here in Philadelphia, because somebody, one of our people, has been murdered.
Right.
And that also, this is like the precursor to the Red Summer that happens in Chicago, of all the riots and stuff. So it's literally one pebble in the water, and look how great the ripple of how it spans out through time zones and through states, reaching us all the way in the East Coast and affecting us so powerfully that someone in the Midwest was murdered.
Yeah, and it's that ripple is still affecting us today, as Xavier said.
I want to go and ask Ayanna, because she played dual roles. When you play Annabelle, how was that for you to play her role, the mother?
Wow, Belle, yeah. That probably was the hardest, most difficult scene in the play for me. And it still is to this day. Every day I go out to do that because it's such a quick turnaround. I literally have 1 minute to turn into the mother. And it's just it's so sad. Janet says, it's like, how could you expect a woman to give up her own child? Of course she would throw herself into the river, and she's done it 3 other times before. And so it's like, I know, and I'm familiar with those stories of my ancestors and our ancestors who, It was common. It was like going to Jewel Osco and getting your weekly groceries, going to the market and selling off your child.
Mm.
And it was just as common coming here in slave ships for people to jump overboard and commit suicide because they'd rather do that than endure the trauma and the horror that was waiting for them in America.
Yeah.
So that moment, doing it with Demetra playing Zuki, it's really haunting. And it's really, I'm really grateful to be able to play that part because if you were not an enslaved person during that time, you will not ever know that pain. But to be able to try to harness and respectively give that depiction on stage is an honor and a privilege, but also it's traumatic
Yeah.
because nobody should ever have to endure that.
Yeah. I hear you. You know, I'm gonna ask Xavier this question. I'm gonna preface it with something that happens to us. Me and my wife are like one of the few African American critics that are here in Chicago. And so when we first started off, you know, we kind of got shunned, you know, like who are they? And then we eventually developed a relationship with people and got, you know, to a point where we feel now that we're in the top echelon of critic reviewing and stuff like that. But we went to go see a play, and I'm gonna put this together. We went to go see a play called Passover. And as the only African American critics there, we had a lot of people, and I'm gonna try to go in the higher role, that were not African American, that came to us and basically said, "Oh, I'm so sorry about this." And I'm like, okay, why are you coming to me to talk to us about that? And I say that to, as you finish the play all the time, tell me, go in the high road, because to me, I was going the low road, and I basically said, well, hopefully this Passover will change you to the point that in 24 hours, you will be different than you were when you came in here. What are some of the things that people have said to you about this play that you have seen a phenomenal change in their philosophy, even for that moment?
To be honest, I haven't had a lot of white people come up to me after this show. I've had a lot of Black people come up to me and say thank you. Thank you for portraying me as a human being and not just a stereotype of one guy was like, yeah, I'm so happy to see a Black fan on there who doesn't leave, who has his stuff together, who's a human, like who's able to express emotion and isn't, not trying to be like what I'm called in for all the time, TV shows, like a thug or a
Yeah.
drug dealer, just a well-educated person, first and foremost. And in terms of, yeah, I'm sorry, I cannot think of, and it's not an indictment on anyone, but I haven't really
with the masks and stuff. We walk out there and nobody knows it's us. So
Look, we know.
they don't put a lot of dialogue after the show unless we are talking to people who do catch us, or they're like, or our guests who've come to see it.
That is true. Yeah, we have the mask, and I usually have my hat on,
and I usually don't have a wig on. So.
Wig. Yeah, I gotta say
this. Work that wig.
That sounds almost a little crazy to me, because I've never seen Xavier before, but I knew who he was right away.
Right.
I'm like, oh, it's the guy. When we asked him to take a picture with us, take the mask off and stuff like that, and it seems like it's no indictment on any other race, because a lot of times there's a fear of showing acceptance or showing that my race or something that was done in my race I can't account for. I don't want to, I don't want to. If I come to you and say something, then I'm showing acceptability or accountability. So it's more like I don't want to do that, and we still would live with that situation today. But it was just powerful to me that someone would come to me, and they didn't do it at the theater. We were like walking out of the theater, and there's almost like a silent, like there's not a lot of other people around. Let me say this to this one individual, and I tried to do the Obamas, if they go low, we go high kind of thing. But the radical part of me wanted to say, well, heck, if this didn't give you change your philosophy, then you're going to be the same person tomorrow doing the same thing. And so, I mean, I'm proud of you all, not because it's not something that African Americans can do, because we can do exceedingly abundantly more than anybody can ask or think. I'm proud because the performance was so excellent. I mean, it was by far one of the best, if not the best play I have seen this year, and probably in the 8 years that we've been doing this.
Yeah.
That's how well it was. So that's my proud on this. So as I say this, and I'm going to go to you, and I'm keep on saying, I can't, is it Ayanna? Ayanna, because Ayanna. Okay, forgive me, because my name is Ricardo, and no one would ever figure that out. But what I want to say to you is that having such a, I mean, you all, I know y'all get up every time and you see the standing ovations that you get, and I know it's wonderful. But with that, where do you want to go from here?
Well, like you said, I'd love this play to go to Broadway or, London or something like that. That would be really fabulous to take it overseas. I want to continue telling stories like this. I would like an opportunity to do a comedy because I love to be funny. But I will always be on stage. You will always find me on stage. In between doing TV and film stuff, I'm currently filming a television show in New York, flying back and forth, doing that and doing the show. So I do that too, but you will always find me on stage. That is where my heart lives. That is where I breathe, where where everything makes sense to me. So where I'll be next, on stage somewhere. What I know now is I'll be at Steppenwolf in next year in the spring, and last night and the night before. But I'll also be doing some work in Door County at Peninsula Players with Xavier. We're going to be doing the Rainmaker.
Uh-oh.
About that.
Door County is in Wisconsin, right?
Yes.
Okay.
At Players.
We may surprise you all. We may surprise y'all on just come on out there. Like, wait a minute. we traveled.
Brother and sister in this one.
Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
wow. Okay. I do want to say this. I seen you over the holidays with Simeon Henderson and Holiday Heist. You were so cute in that. I said, this girl is killing it. And it's so funny. We do stick our chests. I'm like, that's our baby. We know that now. Xavier on the family thing.
I'm glad you say it.
Xavier, you're not going to be my baby. You can be her baby, but you're my boy. You're my boy.
That's fair. That's fair.
I just want to, you ready to wrap up?
No, go ahead. I mean, we got about a couple more minutes. I don't want to keep them too long.
8 minutes.
Okay, I got 8 minutes to roll. What's the takeaway from this play? What do you want the audience to feel when they leave the play? Either one of you guys could jump in and answer that one. What's the takeaway from this play?
Okay, go ahead.
I'll say a takeaway from this play: grace for where everybody is in their process of understanding the world we live in. A lot of Black people in particular, we weren't afforded the opportunity to have the education that allowed us to know where we come from and be able to appreciate, ouch, that hurts, be able to appreciate our culture and our ancestry. And some of us were. I grew up in an environment where I went to an African-centered school and I studied all about the people we talked about in this play and whatnot. But Grace, all these characters are at different levels, and some at the same level, ready for revolution. Some people are just like, I'm still learning, I'm still understanding, I'm still, and I just say grace for everybody, white people included, because they're coming into this play. I don't know that all of them know what they're about to see. If they are an avid theater goer, they probably read about it and are prepared to come to see a very historical play. But we all have to re-educate ourselves about what it means to be Black in America. And I think this play shows us that all of us, every Black person is not the same when it comes to the revolution, when it comes to trying to live a good life in this country. And all of our processes and all of our stages in that process are valid and important. And also, we'll all get there, and I hope and I pray for the white people that see this play. They understand that this isn't just a play for us. This is for you all too. Though they're not, other than Mary Elizabeth's character, there's not a large white presence in the play. When you put Black people on stage and when you have Black people in a play, it automatically becomes about Blackness. It automatically becomes about our experience here in America, regardless if there are white people present. Where we live that way every day, thinking about our impact and our presence here in this country. And they don't have to think about that. So I would like for white people to take away, like, damn, these people, this group of people, these powerful people had to endure so much coming to this country and still endure and are still living with those things and still manage to find joy. And their joy needs to be celebrated.
Yeah. Mr. Xavier.
It's really hard to follow, Ayanna. But I'll do my best. I should have went first. It's the takeaway. Just we're all products of our past, and if you can just meet us like where we are today, treat everyone just like a human being with flaws, wonderful qualities, some not so good, but we're all trying to work and we're all trying to steer the boat in the same direction. And hey, I get it. We don't know a lot about this era, these people. We've only been fed through schools, most schools, my school, one story, pretty much. So some people might. I only learned about the what happened in Tulsa like 5 years ago. I had no idea. No one taught me that, and we have to. The only way to learn about it is you have to do research, or luckily you'll have someone in your life like, hey, this is what happened here, because we won't get it in schools, at least not right now. So this is a learning experience for everyone, for white people, for Black people, and any other race to come in and say, yeah, this is okay. So they went through this, and now they're educated. Now, boom. Oh, I'm going to look up Mary Mahoney. I'm going to look up Frederick Douglass. I'm going to look up all these people. She's dropped in these names. It's so beautiful that she did, because now I'm going to go look up this person, which leads me to look, okay, what did they, boom. And now you have a whole vast system of knowledge that you can just dive into and nerd out and learn about a culture of people. Because yes, these are fictional characters, but they're non-fictional characters as well.
They're not, right. They're non-fictional characters, fictional, non-fictional characters that live with the people that we're talking, like the people that we mentioned in the play are our friends, our mentors, our colleagues, so it's, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right. It's the characters on stage, but fictional, but it's factual life.
Yeah.
This is something that happened to African Americans in that time. The strife and the trials and tribulations that we went through, that we still seem to find ourselves into today. So it correlates with, back then. I think one of the lines said, was it 100 years ago, and we're still going through the same thing. I'm paraphrasing that.
Years, and we're still in this fight for a good life. 200 years, 300 years, 400 years, and we're still in a fist fight for a good life.
And so it's very powerful that we would say that. We're not going to take up too much more of your time. We're going to let you all go. We appreciate you all being on here. Relentless is excellent. I really hope that you all have absolutely nothing else in your life to do, because I'm praying that Relentless just keeps on going and going and going and going. Because
my therapy.
I would
find you, Ricardo.
She got to that.
Yeah, because it's awesome. I mean, it's really really a great play. And I'm gonna tell you something. You guys have made the world. I'm not gonna say us. You've made the world proud with your performance.
Yeah.
You have shown that you are experienced, well-educated, intelligent, well-crafted people in what you do. And it showed immensely on stage. And I can't tell you how happy I am to see that, because I love theater. I'm the theater geek between us. I was going to go to Juilliard for opera singing and theater myself. Because I love theater so much. She's getting, she's now a part of that, because she doesn't want to go to symphonies with me and stuff. Like, come on. Yeah. But we're slowly getting in there.
If I see more like Relentless, I'm in.
Relentless. But we appreciate you all coming in. I don't know if you have any last thing you want to say, because
I would like to say just one thing, just to you all, I appreciate you all doing what you do, being one of the only Black reviewers of theater here in Chicago, because it's wonderful to be seen by your own people who are coming to see your work and who have very strong opinion, because we are getting reviewed by all the people who come, and you all are the only ones that I know for sure who are Black people seeing the play and having opinions about it. And I think it's really powerful that you all go around and you do this for the Black artists and for the Black plays that are being done in Chicago, because we need that light shed, and we need people to speak about our work who are our work.
Yeah.
Who we're talking about.
I was trying my best to get the seniors the church that I go to come. I was going to pay for the tickets for them to go there. I'm going to tell you something. I go to church sometimes. Church people can be one of the hardest people to get together sometimes. I'm telling you, come on, people. I'm paying about 10 to 15 tickets of seniors to go to the play. I can't get them to get it together. So that probably not going to happen. But this is one of those plays that I said I wanted to put my money into so people could see. And
when it's on Broadway, they'll wish they had gotten
that's I'm telling you, it went from Wick to Goodman. It's got to go next to Broadway. I mean, I can't see
CIBC or
I'm about to say there's some plays that are on Broadway that probably don't need to be on Broadway. Yes. Just put it that way. This one definitely does need to be there. And I'm not just saying that. I mean, I'm a very hard critic. I don't, I don't try to be unfair. I do love my people, but I expect from them greatness, because I know I'm going to get that from them.
I do want to say this, babe. I'm not sure if you don't follow our reviews, tell them the name where they can find our reviews.
I did the new website. It's called Let's Play Theatrical Review.
Saved on my tabs on my computer.
Okay, thank you, hon.
Yes.
It's Let's Play Theatrical Review. I put in a lot of work in trying to get that thing together. We are trying to represent African American people at the top level that you all performed.
Yeah.
If we can get to your performance, we'll feel great.
And I do want to say this: when we send out our reviews after we review the play, I always put my ads out there, with me and him doing the play, because people are visual. They want to make sure we're there. that little tactic worked. So far with this, I'm up to 23 people who said from the review, I done bought my ticket because this always sold out, and I'm loving this. It's a,
It's hard to get tickets.
It's hard to get tickets, but I'm loving it. The people read it, and they was like, okay, Brenda's the hard critic, so if she's saying highly recommended, let's go. And they report back to me and say, girl, these people, I don't know who they are. We just not used to seeing this on stage. And that's why
that's because you don't go to theater. You got a lot of great African Americans.
No, but see, just like Xavier said, he get cast for you want to play a thug, a drug dealer. We got these educated, beautiful people in tuxedos, long gowns, and high heels, walking around speaking affluent sentences. And they're going to see this, and we're not feeling embarrassed. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's like, I'm tired of seeing us out there like that. So I keep a tally. Every time someone get back to say, hey, Brent, we went to see it. That's right. Report back.
People going to it, ain't you? 3 more people going.
3 more people going. Yeah. So I'm like, we up to 23 now. So I'm like, and this is all at Goodman, not from the Whit. Yeah. So I'm like, we got to do what we got to do to get us out there, because people say the ticket's too high. But they're giving you stellar performances, so it's worth spending that money. Definitely is.
I mean, Music Man right now, the tickets are like $300. So I mean, hey, they're going to see that.
People are going to see the Music Man.
Yep, they so are. And so, Music Man. And let me tell you something. This play is Music Man. This is music to your ears. I love this play. Hey, we have taken up enough of your time. You got to get ready within less than an hour for another play. We really thoroughly appreciate you all coming out here and being with us. And I'm going to try my best to make sure somehow that I'm going to see that last play on Mother's Day.
Well, see, I'm going to want to go again.
I put my email in the chat. Please take us and email me so we can talk about your blog.
I got you for next month, girl. I'm gonna showcase you. And Xavier, we do men too, but I don't want all the women going crazy yet. So okay, but we're gonna knock out my beauty
I'm
over
going
here.
Crazy.
Y'all take care. Take care of that little star you got on there with you as well, the dog.
Okay, tell him about the way
Oh, there you go.
Oh, he's chilling. Okay.
He like, okay, I'm tired now.
He's so cute.
You all have a great performance today. And let me tell you something. If anything does not move you all to do great tonight, realize that there are people behind you like us that are saying you're already great in everything you do.
Already. Love you guys.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Guys, take care. Thank you very much.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
That was great. I don't